Let me hold your hand. What a theme for a summit. Hearing that theme brings a level of comfort just knowing that there are those who have gone before you, who can come alongside you either by way of experience or by way of knowledge, and can now be with you on your journey as young and beautiful entrepreneurs. I think back when I was a young entrepreneur, a young leader, I can say that if I only had someone or something in the area of support, I could have avoided a lot of unnecessary energy. But I did not, and you do. Let me first applaud you for being brave enough to step out. Many of you have stepped out of your comfort zone to start a business and have taken the risk. And with that, applause is in order. You're believing in yourself. You've taken your passion, or you've taken your need to survive, or your inventive spirit, or your creative hobby. Whatever it is that has identified you as an entrepreneur, you've taken it and you're making something work in ways that provide great benefit to the lives of others as well as yourself. But now you are in the trenches doing this entrepreneurial thing. And some of you might be right now trying to figure out how all the dots connect. Some of you are doing okay, but others of you, you're like, oh, gotta understand this thing. Here you are. You might think of yourself only as an entrepreneur. The truth is, however, that when you became an entrepreneur, you positioned yourself as a leader. Yes, you did. And so today, I want to come alongside you as we talk about how to integrate your entrepreneurial energy with your leadership effectiveness to create maximum impact. How to integrate your entrepreneurial energy with your leadership effectiveness. First, let me introduce myself. I'm June Chambliss, CEO of Women Who Matter 2, TOO, a nonprofit organization, and I work with women in leadership. You may know in today's new world, women are looking to be great leaders while living life on their own terms. What we do is provide the 5-step formula for women so they can be great leaders of themselves and their teams while living life on their own terms. But there will be more opportunity to learn about this later on. Today, we're talking about to integrate your entrepreneurial energy with your leadership effectiveness is not necessarily something that automatically happens when you become a business owner or start a business, nor is it easy to do, yet it is crucial to your success. Again, when you became an entrepreneur, you position yourself as a leader as well. And in that context, I want to cozy up to you and share with you my top 2 leadership principles that are sure to be value adds to your current place on your journey. Now, for some, this may not be for you. You may be doing well and you're having the results in both areas that you desire. You may already understand how to marry your entrepreneurial side with your leadership outcomes. But for those of you who may be struggling to pull it off, be an effective entrepreneur and an effective leader, they're struggling there. Maybe you're crushing the creative side, but barely surviving when it comes to the leadership aspect of your responsibilities, and you just feel lost. Well, this is for you. Imagine there is help for you. But before I get to my top 2 critical leadership principles that you can begin to use immediately, I want to give you a very simple and easy to understand definition of leadership, because we do need to have that understanding. It seems that there are as many definitions for leadership as there are people. So let me give you this for simplicity's sake and accuracy. Leadership is that activity. It is that phenomenon that has to do with influencing and guiding others. Whether you're doing that from your home, the marketplace, the community, your own business, your influence will leave an impact one way or another, positively or negatively, on the life of someone else. So we agree, at least, that leadership at the fundamental way is at least the idea of influencing and guiding others. Leadership is not about being the boss or the lead person. That is just a position or place on the organizational chart. So if you've never really thought about leadership in this way, I get it. I get it. That's why we're here to hold your hand. Yeah, exactly. I know some of you are feeling a sigh of relief just knowing that we're here to hold your hand. And so I know I only have so much time. However, I want to briefly share with you why I am so impassioned about the idea of women becoming great leaders. I remember it all too well. It was the year 2008. I had experienced a very personal crisis while I was doing the work of a leader and trying to run my 3rd new business. It was during this time that my world came crashing down. Bad divorce, financial ruin, and all the fallout that goes along with those kinds of experiences. However, I was in leadership. I was running a business. And so when all of that was going on, I realized I was in need of some major support and direction. Mostly, I needed direction because of my own lack in having the right tools and support that would have taken me through that period. And so I began to think about who and where I could reach to for the support and the help I so desperately needed. But what I found was that many of the women leaders that I reached to were ill-equipped to support me. Now, what do I mean by ill-equipped? Many were in the same boat as I, which was no problem, but many of them lacked the fundamentals of leadership to provide decent direction and guidance. What was given to me was simply wrong and at best was very shallow. And much of what I received came from opinions that were grounded in their own dysfunction and hurt. You know how we can spew out opinionated information based on what happened to us in the past, right? Very little in the way of direction from solid leadership principles or structures. And it was at that time, during that time, that I realized that women leaders were in need of a special kind of support and help, and was really because they didn't have the support and help was part of the reason women can continue to struggle with being great leaders. Now, some of you listening can relate to my experience. Maybe you realize you are ill-equipped to do the work of a leader. Although your entrepreneurial energy and juices might be at a maximum, but the business side, the leadership aspect, you're struggling. But I got you. I have you. I believe part of the answer falls within the leadership development aspect of leadership. Say that with me, leadership development. Black woman entrepreneur, this is an area we lack in. We are sometimes so accustomed to winging it or going off of opinionated ideas about what we think leadership is, but you cannot be successful in this way. So let me quickly give you the principles that I want to give you today. Principle number one, leadership development with an internal focus and an external focus. Leadership development with an internal focus and an external focus is critical. To better understand your leadership as an entrepreneur, you must focus on the leadership development part of you. And you need to know that leadership development is comprised of two parts. Development specifically for the leader, which is you, and we call that human capital, as well as leadership development that is distinctively intended for the benefit of the organization. We call that social capital. Understand that when you talk about development as a leader, it is not linear. There is the personal development, human capital, and then there is the skills development, social capital. If you did the research, you would find that the majority of leadership development forms pretty much focus on the social capital development that is meant to benefit the organization and is concerned with your personal development only to the extent that it benefits the organization. Most likely, the leadership development that you receive is external in nature, basically skills-based. Things like, do you know Microsoft, or are you a team player? Your writing proficiencies, maybe your strategic planning skills, anything that's beneficial to the organization. And then maybe sometimes touch on an internal aspect here and there. But I want you to know, young entrepreneur, that your personal growth as a leader cannot be a side hustle to your social capital growth. The human capital cannot be a side hustle to your social capital development. It is the internal development that will actually pave the way for your true success as a leader. Research has shown that almost all workplace issues or conflict issues or lack of leadership effectiveness happens mostly because internal issues and personal development have been overlooked and have not been managed. Let me give you the second principle that can help you right now in your leadership effectiveness. Number two, life experiences. Your life experiences and the road to leadership, how you got there, is critical. And this should be in our discussions around women's leadership. It is important to have clarity about how your life experiences are connected to everything that you do, because these experiences and how you got into leadership, the experiences, they shape your values, your convictions, your beliefs, and your behaviors. These are known as experiential learning. I want to give you a couple of examples to drive that home. So for instance, an African-American female leader's road to leadership will differ from that of a Caucasian woman's road to leadership, can be different. A woman from one country to the next country, road to leadership can be different from that other woman. A woman with a college degree versus a woman without a college degree, that road to leadership and their experiences will be greatly different. And on we could go. And yet all of these experiences shape values and beliefs. And these varying beliefs and values, they show up in your boardrooms, in our workplaces, in your meetings, in your home. They show up in the way you handle people and the way you approach your entrepreneurial work and the way you approach people. How you do the work of a leader or how you do not do the work of a leader. So leadership development and understanding your life experiences and how they're connected to your role to leadership, all of these are critical to know. But look, I'm running out of time. But can you imagine, as a CEO, as a faith-based leader, as a community leader, if you had the right leadership development, or if you have the opportunity to revisit your leadership development, what it would do for you in terms of your ability to be the best you could be. If you recall my story, what I found were women leaders holding positions, but were ill-equipped to do the work of a leader. Imagine the possibility of starting over, having the right support, the right training, understanding the components of leadership development. That has to do with a lot of things, but models of leadership, conflict avoidant leadership, theories of leadership. It goes on and on. Imagine having the understanding of the components of leadership and leadership development that will set you up for success. And even more importantly, that would allow you to use your influence in ways that brings about life change to others and change the trajectory of your own journey as you combine your entrepreneurial passions with your leadership responsibilities to become the dynamic force you were meant to be. Then let me hold your hand. I know my time is coming to a close. If you would like to know more about how we can help you as a leader, as you're doing this thing, we have a few ways to do that. We have our 5-step formula to being a great leader. We have our world-class self-guided leadership development course for women. We have our leadership coaching available to you. Just go to our website, which is www.womenwhomatter2.org. Click on the links on the table. When you go into the website, you will see on our table, we have all the links set up to all that we can offer you. There you will see the leadership development helps. We offer teaching by research-based leadership development principles that will take you to your next level. I would love to connect with you, would love for you to connect with me. Again, I am June Chambliss, founder of Women Who Matter Too, an organization dedicated to women leaders where you can become a great leader of yourself and of your team while living life on your own terms. Also, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter at Women Who Matter Too, numeric 2. So we've only had so much time today. We could not go into the deep dive of it all, but again, I'd love to connect with you. Listen, before I go, I want to give you something that I think would be of a great benefit to you. It is the Atkins, A-D-K-I-N-S. It is the Atkins Conflict Management Style Assessment. It is an assessment that is designed to help you learn about your conflict management style. Something I just want to give you. It will help you to understand which way you handle conflict. It'll also answer the question for many of you why you do some of the things that you do in your leadership behavior. So again, just go to the website that I've already given you. Under the leadership tab or there on the table, you will find an Atkins conflict management styles assessment form. Click it on. Take the test. It's designed to help you learn about your conflict management style. It'll answer many questions for you. So imagine finally getting some answers around some of the things that you have been struggling with. You can get them there. It has been a pleasure spending this time with you. I hope you the best. Looking forward to knowing more about your entrepreneurial adventures. And I just hope all is well. I hope you were able to gain some insights today from this presentation, but more importantly, I hope you the best, young entrepreneur, young leaders in your endeavors. Thank you for spending this time with me.
Woo! Yeah. June doesn't play, y'all. June has, I think, about 40 years of experience. Like, she's literally a researcher, y'all, like a in-depth researcher on leadership development. And she knows how to unpack the fact that all of the studies never, ever included women. Like, all of the big frameworks never included women. So she is, like, creating space where there is none. In the curriculum of leadership, like literally world class. Like, she goes to Asia to speak. Like, she is off the chain, y'all. Beautiful. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Similar to last time, at least one. Just give me at least one reaction, y'all, because what June and hit the raise the hand button and I'll pull you on stage. At least one, right? Because June brought out a very important fact that entrepreneurship is not leadership. Right? Like there are two things we have to get down, and it's more than a position on an org chart. She made that thing very, very plain, right? And that your internal development can't be a side hustle to, like your leadership in your company. You have to develop within and understand, right? What your style is, what your blind spots are, how you can influence others. And yes, run the day-to-day. I think that was super, super fire. At least one. I'm pushing y'all. Blaze means building leaders and accepting zero excuses. I need you comfortable with the sound of your own voice. So at least one. Someone raise your hand and just give me your reactions today. I know it's very, very potent. We got a lot of gems. A lot of gems that were incredibly good. Okay, Kayla, I'm pulling you up, mama.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I loved that. Every sentence she had was a banger. It was one after another. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
But I just loved how how she started off with the need for leadership, because I often deal with, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to find the help. And then I realize other people don't know what they're doing either. So it's just like, what are we doing?
That part. Yep.
So I appreciate the people that do come into my life to help me figure it out, and we're figuring it out together. But then definitely on the back end, I appreciate how she was intertwining those soft skills into leadership, because I often run from being the top boss. Like, I want to help people, but I don't want to be the boss. So when she's like, everyone's a leader when you're, being an entrepreneur. And that made me, calm down a little bit, because then I can take myself more seriously and use those soft skills as a strength, because that's what's needed to be a true leader, not just degrees and experience. Well, experience, yes, but the soft skills play a role.
Ashe, that's so good. I hope you saw all those emojis lighting up on the stage. Ashe, you gave all the cliff notes. Sis gave all the cliff notes, y'all. Okay, Caleb's paying attention. Thank you so much, Mama. I appreciate your perspective.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. All right, love it, love it, love it. I'm happy that that was so helpful. We are keeping it going. Before we go over to the other session, I want to remind everyone that every single session has a poll that goes into the feed. And just to orient people to how these work, you'll see a feed at the very top of the screen, and that's just the event feed. Whether you're inside of a session or not, everybody can see it. People have been dropping their IG links, their LinkedIn links, their website links. They've been saying, hey, meet me at table number 1 at such and such time. So groups get together. And then inside of the session, just so you know, because I don't want anybody missing out, inside of a session on all the comments that are coming through, there's a conversation chat inside each session too, where a lot of conversation about the session itself happens. So if any of you were in the overall feed, missing all of they were potent comments. They were funny comments too. Just know that you can go inside of the conversation inside of the session as well. Any questions before I'm watching the chat? Any questions before we move over to the next session, which will be y'all from Paquita. Y'all have seen a lot of Paquita in the comments each day. She is so engaged. Speaking of engaged, let's see where Paquita is on the leaderboard, because I know sis is in the top 15. Yep. Paquita is number 9, y'all. Don't play with her. She's number 9, and she will be giving you a TED Talk next. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. But if you have any questions, let me know. I don't see any questions in the comment section, so I think everyone is good. Another housekeeping note is that all of the replays from yesterday are available. And they will be loaded after every single day, because this stuff is good, right? And we need to chew on it. So if you go to blazeknowledgeacademy.com and just log in with your email, you will see the icon and the title for Blaze Virtual Summit Replays, and all of day 1 is there. All of the TED Talks, all of the workshops, the virtual vision board party is there. The meditation is there. Love it, love it, love it. I know y'all probably want the DJ set in there too. So I'll put it in there on the back end. She said, and do. Okay, Raven. Okay, Jazz. Got it. Yes, Michelle. Okay, so the DJ set will go in there as well. Okay, it's not in there right now, but I'll put it in there so y'all don't come for me. And then there's another DJ. There's a DJ set every day, except Sunday when the market is going on. But we have another DJ set from the Bay, man. DJ Red Corvette, super dope. All right, y'all. So love you, mean it. Remember to please answer these polls in the top feed for the event, so that all the speakers get your feedback and perspective, so that they can continue to grow and stretch and give you what you need. I'll see y'all in Paquita's TED Talk next on owning your space. Love y'all.